I wanted to talk about my bloodline. A lot of people ask, and why do I breed? What's different from my dogs, I guess, than the typical Staffordshire Bull Terrier breeder today. I guess the biggest thing is, this breed. You got to think of what it is, what it was, how the founders were when it was created. All that. A lot of times, breeds, they resemble the owners, and at the one time, this breed, the owners were game just like them. They were hardworking men and women, and the dogs kind of portrayed their lifestyle, from chain makers to just hard, working families and stuff. And my dogs, Steadfast is the name. I didn't just pick that lightly. The reason is the definition of steadfast, intrepid, all those meanings mean a lot, and is how the breed should be. A lot of times, it's easy to forget, and I think a lot of the current breeders out there and show the show world, and just the new people coming in it don't understand the history of this breed. I've people have said have been trying to preserve the Staffordshire Bull Terriers, the true Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and in a way, I guess I am, because it's far and few who actually have the same reasons and goals for breeding. The show ring. The problem, I think, the biggest problem is the fact that this is a working breed, and a lot of it's not. People forget that, and that's important, because in a working breed is totally different than all the other breeds. And we've turned this into the standard is important, but the standard of what? The standard in my eyes is a dog. First and foremost, it's what you're selecting on, and selection should be heart, should be confidence, should be just functionality, being able to function, being able to get the job or tasks done. And the biggest thing is nobody's giving them a task other than, walking around the show ring. I hear a lot of people will scream, breed type and true to type and all this stuff. And yes and no. The problem with any standard or like breed type, for example, that is basically the dog's appearance, the temperament, the bone structure, the characteristics of it, its movement, and etc. But too many times people take that out of content, and they're only looking at certain things, especially in conformation. They're solely looking on looks. And at the end of the day, what are they selecting on? Is it solely on looks? Because you can have a dog that is perfectly fits the standard, but is scared of its own shadow. It can't. For example, I have mine catch hog, and they do dispatch raccoons, and even work dig some, get a hold of groundhogs, and so on and so forth. But I'm able to see more of just looks, and when you're selecting on actual tasks and jobs, you start to see which ones are capable and which ones aren't. And at the end of the day, if one is as ugly as sin, right? It's bow-legged, undershot, and has a tail that hangs wrong, but is capable and the best working Staffordshire Bull Terrier that you have, then to me that's the definition of a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. You could have one that is pretty as can be and runs and hides from a mouse. You know, a rat bites it in the face and it screams and tucks tail and it's gone. You know, that is something that in a working breed you have to ask yourself, well, is that the breed? I mean, the breed's totally changed. It's when it's solely based on appearance, then you know what determines what the breed actually is, you know, and that should be a job. It should be a task, you know, it should be something that it does. I mean, it should be functional. I like to always use, and I have since, you know, we started, I've always said, you know, my dogs are pure at heart working form of the breed. And, you know, by pure at heart, I mean, they're just, they're transparent. Like, you know what you're going to get with them, you know, there's no hidden motives. They just want to please. That's their desire. They just want to please you. And, you know, their hearts are moved more for like their desires, their goals, their emotions come from it. It's where all that comes from. And if the heart isn't right, their actions won't be right either. So if you can't have a pure at heart Staffordshire Bull Terrier, then you're not going to get. It's not going to be, you know, no matter how much it looks like the standard or fits, you know, this puzzle. It's is it a Staffordshire Bull Terrier? I don't know, you know. I've always said that, like, you can take a Corvette and put a Honda motor in it, but you'd have to draw a line sometime, you know. Is it a race car anymore? I don't know. Is it a Corvette? You know, the insides, you know, aren't there. So the same goes with a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And I just think too many times it's not understood that this dog is a working breed, and that's important, as well as temperament and health. You know, we don't talk about that enough. I know there's a lot of genetic testing out there you can do, but at the end of the day, there's still a lot of health issues that can come up. You know, and just something as simple as a muzzle being too short or nares being too small, and the dog can thrive in a home with air condition and around a show ring, but when you get it out trying to dig something up or get a hold of a hog when it's, you know, 90 degrees outside, it's just going to kill it, even if it's able to, you know. But at the end of the day, it does come back to actual selection and what will actually work and what doesn't, you know. The bone structure, you know, and all that is important. But again, you have to select, and you have to have a way of testing these dogs and seeing, you know, what actually works. And that's something you just don't see today.